Hello, this is a Brave Knight Mercenary spotlight on Morgana. Morgana is a 4-star magician. Morgana is the cat that tells you to go to sleep in Persona 5. She hails from a lineage of illustrious witches, and is a guiding figure for Sola. I'll briefly go over Morgana's skills, gameplay style, and provide some of my opinions on her. I won't be going over the details of her skills, but just the general parts of it. I linked the Brave Knight Encyclopedia in the video description where you can easily read on her stats and skill values. Morgana's first skill is Burn. After Morgana's normal attack, she inflicts the Burn DOT. At plus 3 and above, the Burn also increases incoming damage. Morgana's second skill is Reflective Counter Strike. Morgana deals additional damage based on the number of reflective counter skills that the enemy has when she attacks. The additional damage scales with the opponent's current life, and is affected by incoming damage reduction, graze, and defense. At plus 10 and above, the skill becomes Advanced Reflective Counter Strike and gains Protection Nullifier, which removes any applied barrier buffs on the enemy. Lastly, at plus 15, the skill becomes Super Reflective Counter Strike and will now ignore defense. Morgana's third skill is Vitality Absorption. For every grave on the enemy field, Morgana gains crit damage and attack. At plus 9 and above, Morgana also gains crit rate for every grave. Morgana's Awakening skill is Stats Weakening Immunity. Morgana is unaffected by stats weakening effects, like Curse. Morgana is a mage who scales well as the fight progresses. Her ability to gain powerful stats just by having enemy graves gives her independence from having to rely on a support. Morgana is also specialized in breaking units that rely on reflective counters. Any unit that has some counter is very likely to die to Morgana's powerful attack. Morgana's attack range is also very strong, sporting a 2-range cross tile and hitting skip. Her general damage is okay, but her ability to inflict burn will easily destroy most non-DOT immune units. I'll go over what Morgana counters. Morgana's greatest specialty is her ability to destroy units that rely on reflective counters. With enough graves and buffs, she can take down even legend units. Morgana is capable of killing Grand and Valtor with the right setups, but if used in Novice Arena, Morgana is good at checking units like Belisir, Lulu, Sui, Exile, Iris, Horan, and Mercedes. Those are just a few examples. Morgana's burn will also snag many units that are not DOT immune. If there are enough enemy graves, the burn can kill most units due to how long it lasts, even if they're somewhat tanky. Scarlet and Xenon are 2 examples, but many non-DOT immune units will likely die from Morgana's attack. As I mentioned earlier, Morgana can check various high rarity units with reflective counters, such as Valtor and Grand Hilder. Morgana at plus 15 can even kill Levia, but will need to accumulate enough graves and buffs to do so. I'll go over some Morgana counters now. Mora can reach a point of 100% defense, and if that's the case, Mora will be able to survive anything that Morgana throws at her. Any tank that does not rely on reflective counters and is also DOT immune could survive Morgana's attack. Carlson is one of the better units to tank her. Eden is a 3-star support that provides DOT immunity and is a great way to mitigate Morgana's burn. Lastly, Morgana is not very tanky, so anything that could deal reasonable amounts of damage is likely to kill her. So some synergies with Morgana. Morgana is relatively independent when used in Novice Arena. Having buffs to help her stay alive, like Julie or Hypatia, is fairly valuable, but Morgana can accumulate her own offensive stats just by having the enemy die. Morgana could be a budget answer to Valtor, Levia, and Gran, but will need considerable unremovable buffs to be able to deal enough damage on a reflective counter-strike to kill them. Veronia, Sola, and Michaela can help with that. Okay, so for my opinion, Morgana is pretty straightforward. She hits reflective counters hard, and she burns everything else. Her great attack tiles make her pretty scary in Novice Arena. She is strong enough to even be a budget option to address various 5-stars and legend threats with crafty usage. Novice Arena has a tendency to be either very slow or very fast. If the meta swings to where it's very tank heavy, Morgana is well equipped to adapt and thrive in that environment. If it's too fast and aggressive, however, Morgana may struggle since mages are naturally very slow. Morgana is also competing with Maria, who is a 3-star mage that also has impressive attack tiles. Remember that Morgana is a 4-star, and you can only field 3 4-stars in Novice. Because of their additional damage and burn, Morgana is a great choice for World Boss as well. She is a great PvE character as well. When investing in Morgana, her skill ups are mostly affecting her burn ability early on. Plus 10 to 14 really helps her with the overall consistency by improving her reflective counter strike and her vitality absorption. Plus 15 is a big leap too because it allows Morgana to completely ignore defense with a reflective counter strike, which is a crucial thing to have to kill Levia and other 100% defense units who may have a reflective counter. In Novice Arena, most of the units run shield runes, but will not reach 100% defense. Morgana does not need to be at plus 15 to address those units, but if there are not enough graves or Morgana does not have enough buffs, Morgana may not be able to kill some units. Plus 15 will help with a lot of consistency issues, but I don't think it's mandatory for Novice Arena. Overall, Morgana is a nice addition to the 4-star mage lineup. She has a niche that is covered by other units like Barbara for example, but Morgana has the edge of being a 4-star unit. Being a budget option that can address threats of both Novice Arena and regular Arena is a very valuable trait. Thanks for watching my Morgana Mercenary Spotlight. I got these done near patch day for once, so yeah, good on me.